KHOU 11 News at 5:30 starts now.
Now at 5:30, a chaotic end to Mardi Gras celebrations in Galveston. Why police ended up arresting 19 people.
Plus, an apparent fight over a woman ends with 2 men in the hospital, and one of them was stabbed with a sword.
And at the threshold of war, as U.S. officials keep a close eye on the Russian military action in Ukraine.
But we begin this evening with Weather Watch. This is video shot earlier today by our assistant news director on a freeway in Dallas. Sand trucks have been hitting all the streets and bridges in that city, and things are just taking a turn there.
Mario joins us now. What are you tracking out there tonight, man?
Well, they're seeing some sleet up in the Dallas area, and if you look on radar, you might actually see it extends just to the north of the Houston area, just north of the Brazos River Valley. It's approaching just north and west of Huntsville. You can see the sleet there. That's because the temperatures are getting much colder. A front is advancing right through, looks like halfway through Harris County now. We're getting some rain, some very blustery rain ahead of it, but here's why we're seeing sleet in Dallas and sleet up in the north central portions of the state of Texas. The numbers are downright cold. 20-degree temperatures in Dallas, 30s in Austin, 30s in College Station, mid-30s in Huntsville. We're looking at almost a 40-degree drop in the temperatures since this morning for these cities. There's a wind advisory also for this area, and the wind chills right now with temperatures in the 30s and 40s are running in the teens in College Station. We can expect those temperatures here in Houston tomorrow morning. That's what it's going to feel like. There is a wind advisory and also a wind chill advisory for these areas tonight. Although the temperatures will be in the 20s, it's going to feel like the teens tomorrow. Here in Houston, we could see near freezing temperatures, especially north of I-10. You may want to protect your plants and bring in your pets tonight. We'll talk more about how long this cold weather is going to stay as this cold blast blows into town all across southeast Texas tonight. All right, coming up.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Mario.
In other news tonight, 19 people have been arrested in Galveston after Mardi Gras revelers got out of hand last night.
Yeah, police had to take some pretty extreme measures to break up the crowd. Marcelino Benito is live in Galveston with more.
Well, guys, things pretty quiet right now, but just 24 hours ago, this entire street was packed full of people. And beads, let me tell you, they were flying all over the place. Take a look up there, some ending up on that light pole. The problem is beads weren't the only thing flying, and police were forced to open up with pepper spray. 24 hours ago, streets were packed. The party down in Galveston in full swing.
You always get a few idiots. You got 10,000 plus people out here, everyone drinking.
Today, the music's still going, but the crowd's gone as the island tried to shake off last night's hangover.
It's, I guess, starting to be a problem with people, just getting out of hand.
Around 1 this morning, as Galveston PD swept the Strand area.
Blowing whistles, beads were flying, beer bottles were flying.
Vendors and residents who live along the Strand saw it all happen, snapping photos and video from their balconies. A large group lost control, didn't respond to police commands, refused to leave the area. Then Galveston PD Chief Henry Pareto says they really crossed a line.
We're not going to allow some people that come from another city to throw bottles and attack our officers.
Police fired off 2 canisters of pepper spray to regain control. Michelle DeMarchi was tearing down her sales tent when she felt it.
Oh, it made your eyes burn. I know my eyes were burning.
19 people, including a confirmed gang member, taken into custody.
Cops immediately charged them and tackled the few people acting like fools.
Police say they had no choice but to take action.
That response to resistance it's a game changer.
And with 3 more days of partying left down on the island, folks along the Strand hope the good times can continue to roll.
We don't want it to ruin it for people that come to have a good time.
Now, those 19 people arrested will face public intoxication and disorderly conduct charges. I did speak with the police chief today. He tells me they are looking to file more serious charges against a couple people who were inciting that crowd. For now, we're live in a rainy Galveston. I'm Marcelino Benito, KHOU 11 News.
The Harris County Sheriff's Office, Cy-Fair Police, and Life Flight responded to a shooting scene in northwest Harris County this afternoon. Malini Basu is live at that scene. Malini, what have you learned out there?
Well, that's right. Rucks deputies confirmed for us that it was a jealous ex-husband that shot and killed the boyfriend. It all happened down the street from us. You can see where the towels are. Neighbors tried to save that man, and children heard the gunshots. Now, let me take you back to the scene. This all happened on Glen Hagen Drive around 12:30 this afternoon. Investigators told us the ex-husband was coming over to the house to pick up the kids. Witnesses then tell us there was some sort of a fight, and the ex-husband pulled out a gun and shot the boyfriend. He was flown to Memorial Herman, where he later died. One neighbor we spoke to tells us he grabbed towels and he tried to save him.
I did what I could. I tried to stop him from bleeding and everything. But
What did you do?
I just tied up. It was me and some other guys helping him. We just tied the stuff around him to stop him from bleeding because it wasn't looking too good.
Now, we're told the ex-wife has 6 children and they live at this house. And we're also told that the ex-wife just learned about the news within the last half an hour or so. Really a heartbreaking situation. What the fight was over, deputies are still trying to figure that out. For now, we are live in Northwest Harris County. Malini Basu, KHOU 11 News.
Malini, thank you. A woman is seriously burned in an early morning house fire. It happened on Blue Jay Twin Circle near Bender in Humble. A neighbor says the woman ran to her begging for help. She had burns on her face and arms and was taken to Memorial Hermann in stable condition. The woman may have left a candle burning, but firefighters are still investigating the cause.
Now to the developing story in Ukraine. The Obama administration says Russian forces now have complete control of the Crimean Peninsula. And the situation is so tense, Secretary of State John Kerry will head to Kiev this week to meet with government officials there. Well, Allison Harmelin has our story tonight.
Troops with no markings on their uniforms surrounded a Ukrainian naval base in Crimea. The soldiers spoke Russian and drove vehicles with Russian plates. They demanded that the Ukrainian soldiers disarm, but no shots were fired. The new Ukrainian government is bracing for war.
This is not the threat. This is actually the declaration of war. We are on the brink of the disaster.
In the south, pro-Russian demonstrators gathered, chanting. But in Kiev, thousands of Ukrainians filled the streets. One sign reads, "Putin, hands off Ukraine." The United States is demanding that Moscow pull back their army or suffer sanctions reminiscent of the Cold War. Secretary of State John Kerry says the G8 and others are fully on board.
All of them, every single one of them, are prepared to go to the hilt in order to isolate Russia with respect to this invasion. They're prepared to put sanctions in place. They're prepared to isolate Russia economically.
Kerry made it clear the U.S. has no plans to use military force against Russia, but did say the U.S. and its allies are prepared to boycott the upcoming G8 summit if Moscow continues down its path to war. Allison Harmelin, KHOU 11 News.
Right now, pro-Russians outnumber pro-Ukrainians by 10-1 in Crimea.
The volatile situation in Venezuela continues as people flood the streets in protest of their government. Many there are upset about price gouging and long lines to buy food. The socialist government blames capitalists from the West, but more than a dozen people so far have been killed and hundreds more injured since protests began several weeks ago.
Coming up, a domestic dispute that ended with a man stabbing another man with a sword.
Plus, a woman accused of doing something downright gross as she was being arrested.
But first, local families' desperate search for answers after the tragic and mysterious death of a 17-year-old Antonio Saldivar.
A Houston family desperate for answers in the mysterious death of their teenage son is hosting a benefit in the boy's honor. Antonio Saldivar was last seen on Valentine's Day heading to his girlfriend's house. Saldivar's car was found first, wrecked with his shoes still inside. And then last week, his body was found in the Chip Channel. His family is waiting for autopsy results to find out exactly how he died. But today, Saldivar's family and friends are hosting a barbecue fundraiser at Stephanie's Ice House on Lawndale. $7 will get you a full meal, and the money raised will go toward his funeral.
We need all the help we can get, so hey, there's still plenty. Come on out, because we need it. And we thank everybody for their support so far and donations.
Tonight's event will go until 8 p.m.
A fight between a woman's ex-husband and her boyfriend ended violently at a Katy home last night. Authorities say the two men were arguing when the boyfriend pulled out a sword and stabbed the ex-husband with it. Then the ex-husband grabbed a vase and used it to strike the boyfriend over the head. Both men were taken to the hospital. The ex-husband is listed in serious condition. The boyfriend is stable. The woman was not hurt.
Rosenberg police made an eventful arrest last night at a local apartment complex. Officers say they were responding to a call about a possible assault with a deadly weapon, and they found a loaded shotgun in a vehicle driven by Keandra Harrison. They say she refused to open the door and that she urinated on an officer during her arrest. She faces several charges. Her father was arrested on suspicion of assault with a deadly weapon.
Coming up, Boston's mayor takes a stand on the issue of gay rights, one of the biggest events of the year.
And later, a sporting event that gives new meaning to the concept of weather delay. Thousands of people have come out to celebrate Mardi Gras in New Orleans.
That's right. This year, the weather seems to have been more cooperative than in recent years. LaTanya Norton has a look at the family-friendly side of Mardi Gras.
Iris Rocks, the theme this year for one of New Orleans' largest carnival organizations for women. The crew of Iris with 1,150 members on 35 floats depicting bedrock, jailhouse rock, diamonds, and more.
Oh, I love it. It's, I moved here. When I moved down here, I instantly fell in love with the city and with the whole Mardi Gras experience. And we come here every year. We like the whole family aspect of it. It's my daughter's first Mardi Gras. She's 9 months, so we're just really excited about being here, and we love it.
All my friends in California think Mardi Gras is French Quarter and drunken debauchery. It's not. It's families with little kids on ladders that are just having a ball, and it's a community thing.
Following Iris was the crew that began as a ragtag group of Loyola University students back in 1969. The crew of Tux, in its 46th year, touts 1,000 members, men and women, as spectators delight in the 125-unit parade, including 30 floats and a wide assortment of throws.
It's a fantastic experience. I can't really explain it. It's just one of those things that when you're able to come out and you have all these people from different backgrounds.
Oh, it's almost the same thing. The same thing, same kind of carnival we have in Haiti. It's the same kind of carnival we have over here.
There's no place like home and no place like New Orleans for carnival season.
This is the best weather. Last year it was cold, it was rainy. This year, this is ideal. It's perfect.
For the first time in decades, organizers with the St. Patrick's Day Parade in South Boston have invited a gay advocacy group. It's a compromise that was orchestrated by Boston's mayor, Marty Walsh. Walsh, the first Irish mayor in 20 years, refused to march this year if members of the LGBT community were banned from marching. Well, late Friday, organizers of the parade extended an invitation through the mayor to mass equality. The controversy goes back to 1995 when the Supreme Court ruled that organizers of the parade could exclude gay and lesbian groups.
St. Patrick's Day for the last 20 years has been kind of a cloud over it every single year. Somebody who's gay that marching in any parade should be very proud of who they are.
The fact that they're even having a conversation is a step forward and a reflection of the fact that our country is changing, our Commonwealth has changed, South Boston has changed.
Mass equality will only be allowed to march with a banner. Signs and T-shirts will be prohibited.
Hundreds of people visited the Alamo yesterday to commemorate the 178th anniversary of Texas's Independence Day. The state was declared an independent republic back on March 2nd of 1836. The Alamo would fall to Santa Anna days later. Historic interpreters were there to show the crowds what life was like the days before and after the siege, and dozens came out for a wreath-laying ceremony at Alamo Plaza.
Always fun to see. Well, turning to weather now, it looks like the temperature dropped several degrees just in the last hour or two, Mario.
Yeah, another thing that could be historical today is how fast the temperatures have been dropping like a rock this evening across Houston. It's unbelievable. It looks like we're looking at numbers just a few minutes ago. We were sitting in the mid-70s. Now, many parts of the city are sitting in the 40s, especially out north and west. It looks very soupy outside. Gray skies, low clouds over downtown Houston. All we can say is brr for the rest of the night. And for tomorrow morning, there is a wind chill advisory for areas north of town. It could feel in the teens there. The winds will be very gusty tonight. So if you live north of I-10, I think we will see some frost on the ground. And there's a lot of new buds on the plants, so you may want to take protective action and cover those plants this evening. There's also a little sleet to talk about well up to the north and east across the state. Starts in Waco, portions of the Dallas, the Tyler, the Longview area. Not quite getting into southeast Texas tonight, but areas north, maybe near Huntsville, could see a little sleet this evening. Here in Houston, though, you can see light rain, a very cold rain falling across southeast Texas as the frontal boundary continues to work its way towards Houston. And I do believe this is about where the future track is representing that front. It works its way towards Galveston this evening. And then most of the severe weather is well north and east of Houston towards the Sabine River Pass after 9 or 10 o'clock tonight. In fact, by midnight, most of the rain will be gone. We'll be looking at clearing skies and very cool conditions. And then we'll see the rain return on Tuesday as another upper level disturbance kind of marches in early in the morning on Tuesday. This will also come to pass by the end of the day on Wednesday. But what's unbelievable is how cold it's been just within the last few hours. Within the last 6 to 8 hours, we've seen almost a 48-degree drop in College Station. In Houston, this is within 24 hours. We've seen a 20-degree drop plus, and the temperature drop continues to work its way towards the coastline. These are the current temperatures. Notice the significant difference here. There's almost 40 degrees from the College Station to the Hobby, Houston area. Temperatures on the island at 66, Pearland you're at 72, but it feels more like the teens, and that's what we're going to be contending with wind chill advisories for this area till tomorrow morning. It's going to feel like the teens and 20s for the better part of the morning, so dress in layers tomorrow because these are the actual air temperatures, but it's the wind chills that'll really get you tomorrow. Temperatures at 28 in Navasota, 28 in Huntsville, 28 in Brenham. A little bit of a cold rain tonight, but that should all be over after midnight, as we said. Again, this is also occurring early this evening. Tomorrow morning, we'll see mid to low 30s in the Katy area. A little frost perhaps around Katy and north of the I-10 area. Right now it's icy, very sleety across the areas of the Arkansas River Valley. We're looking at the Red River Valley also with some sleet here. The front continues to work its way towards the Houston area, but notice single digits in the Panhandle, 20s in Dallas, freezing temperatures in Austin, near freezing temperatures in San Antonio. The front overtakes the entire state. Here we go right back into winter. There's that upper level system kind of marching across the southern end of the state, bringing rain towards the middle part of the week. Forecast looks like wintertime here. Hard to believe. Here we are. Our average last freeze should be about the third week in February, but it looks like we're going to go well beyond that if we see a little frost north of the city. By Thursday and Friday, we start seeing slightly warmer temperatures. The silver lining in all this is that we get to 70 on Saturday, but then a front comes in and changes everything for the end of the weekend. But I'm still holding 2 thumbs up for another great forecast for the rodeo weekend coming up. They need big weekends to get the money levels up. So we're hoping good stuff for that.
We'll need some good news after this dip in the temperature.
Yeah, that's right. Don't forget the time change. We do spring forward next weekend.
That's right.
Okay.
All right, hundreds turned out to enjoy a different kind of barbecue, the Kosher Chili Cook-Off. The 4th annual event took place at the Evelyn Rubenstein Jewish Community Center in Southwest Houston. Several teams faced off to see whose kosher chili, well, tasted the best. The chili did not contain pork or shellfish, and kosher also requires the separation of meat and dairy.
The ingredients can be kosher, and then the manner of preparation also has to be kosher. It has to do with cleanliness, and again, under the auspices, under the authority of Jewish rabbis.
Today's cook-off is the largest Jewish charity event in the Houston area. Proceeds will benefit several local charities.
Coming up, the Manville Lady Mavericks celebrate their first ever state championship.
Plus, some hockey fans who didn't let a little thing like a snowstorm ruin a perfectly good game. It takes a lot to keep hardcore hockey fans away from a game.
It certainly does. Apparently, even a snowstorm won't do it. Even when the game is outside, thousands of hockey fans brave some pretty intense conditions at Chicago Soldier Field. They were there to watch the outdoor game between the Blackhawks and the Penguins.
You're in Chicago. Come on now. You got to be ready for the winter. It's not going anywhere, apparently.
It's pretty warm outside. I didn't want to catch, get heat stroke or anything, so figured I'd stay cool out here.
Stadium crews had their work cut out for them just keeping the ice clear during the game. Didn't appear to bother the Blackhawks much. They beat the Penguins 5-1.
All right, Matt's here now. Matt, congratulations are in order for some local athletes.
Oh, that was a thrilling win last night for the Manville Lady Mavericks. The Rockets scored a win last night, which was nice, but when the Manville High School girls did last night, well, it was remarkable. Up against the Duncanville team, who owned a 105-game winning streak, the Manville girls were unable to score a field goal until the middle of the second quarter. At one point, they trailed by 12. They whittled the lead down, though. With just under 4 minutes left, Manville trailed by 7. But Duncanville star player Ariel Atkins fouls out on that play, and the Lady Mavericks pounce on the opportunity. They out-hustle the Pantherettes all over the court. And when McDonald's All-American Breonna Turner scores there to put the Lady Mavs up 52-51, Manville never trailed again. Turner finishes with 17 points and 17 rebounds to lead the way, and the Lady Mavs outscore Duncanville 16-4 in the closing 4 minutes. They capture the school's first ever state title with a 58-53 win.
They outplayed us completely the first quarter. Second quarter, we came back down by 4 at halftime. We were up on them 14 at our last game we played them, so we knew we could come back on them. And I think it really came down to free throws and just having heart and never giving up.
We came into this game with nothing to lose. I know Duncanville was a great team, a powerhouse, and so every single game we faced, we were supposed to win, and it's tough on 15, 16, 17-year-old kids. But this game, they were so I told them we had nothing to lose. Get out there and do the best you can.
Way to go, Lady Mavericks. All right, to baseball, the Astros played their first home game of the spring today as they hosted the Braves at Kissimmee. And starting pitcher Jared Cosart pitched 2 scoreless innings to get the Astros off to a nice start. On the offensive side, Carlos Corporon drove in a pair of runs. The Astros win this thing 7-4. Back to the 23-year-old starter, Cosart. It looked like he picked up where he left off his rookie year, but he posted a 1.95 ERA in his 10 starts.
I tell you, I was really pleased today with the tempo of the game. I felt like the starters, or the guys that went out there today, they threw strikes, kept the defense on their toes, and I think that was part of the reason why we played such a good game defensively.
Nothing's given to you, regardless of what everyone did last year's behind us. For everybody, I think we kind of made that an organizational a deal this year. And
in the meantime, back here at the Astros home park, the College Classic wrapping up. Number 15 Rice took on Texas Tech today. Starting pitcher John Duplantier had all kinds of problems, walk in a couple of runs. The Owls lose 2-1. And in the opener today, Texas State undefeated. They beat Sam Houston State. A sacrifice fly in the 8th inning by Shaw, which scores Feltz, makes it 3-2 Longhorns, and they finish it up undefeated in the Classic. That's it for sports.
Thanks, Matt.
All right, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here at 10.
Take care.